Hello, I'm Montana DeGreco, and I'm going to tell you about the garbage patch problems in the ocean. In the ocean, there are potentially 5 garbage patches that'll collect trash from sewage systems. As you can see from the data, about 36,000 tons of trash have collected. To put this in perspective, just in the Pacific garbage patch alone, it's twice the size of Texas. With all of this litter, millions of seabirds as well as thousands of sea mammals are consuming this waste and dying due to the toxins in the trash. The photo to the left is an example of this. On the right, this is the amount of trash projected to accumulate in the next 10 years. The types of garbage in the oceans are mostly from sewers and landfills that are carried to the sea by water flow or wind. Products that are non-biodegradable are then left in the ocean to break down into microplastics that release toxins into the water. These toxins, as discussed before, are not only consumed by sea creatures, but marine animals that are consumed by us. So any toxins those animals take in, we're also taking in. So in the oceans, around 120 billion pounds of nurdles or plastic packaging pellets are released into the garbage patches through the sewer systems. These, along with mostly cigarette butts and other non-biodegradable plastics, are causing the most problems. Not only do they accumulate, but for them to break down into microplastics, which are non-visible but still toxic, can take hundreds and hundreds of years. As you can see, a plastic bottle, which is one of the biggest problems, can take up to 400 years to break down. In just the North Atlantic alone, some parts accumulate over 100,000 pieces of plastic per kilometer squared. So solutions to the problem. To solve this problem, many small changes could be made. Communities could easily start to recycle, or they could start buying reusable shopping bags for when they go to the stores. These large bags, they would produce less trips from the car to the house and potentially help save the environment. So if corporations were to create these reusable bags and then also charge like 5 cents per plastic bag that would go towards garbage patch cleanup, families would be persuaded to purchase reusable bags and would still be helping the environment when they didn't. Big corporations could also begin producing and selling biodegradable products. As you can see, it wouldn't only help the oceans, but save water as well. So the budget. Even though being green sounds like it'd be expensive, it's moderately cheap. As you can see, reusable bags and cups would never break the bank because they're easy, cheap, and convenient. A dollar cup from Starbucks could be reused multiple times, and Starbucks even will give you 10 cents off every time you go in to purchase a drink. So after you purchase 10 drinks from Starbucks, your cup is already paid off. And then also, Target bags, you can buy them for $1 when you go shopping, and they're bigger than regular bags, so it would make fewer trips from the car to the house. And also, they're cute and they're cheap and they're very good for the environment. And as you can see on the left, I have a green stripe cup. These are $3.75 for 50, which is pretty much the price for regular plastic cups that are non-biodegradable and very bad for the environment. So I propose the communities spend these small amounts of money to purchase these reusable cups and these reusable bags, and it'll easily help change the world, or change the environment at least. And then for corporations, I propose that they would spend $0. And I know that sounds incredibly insane. You're like, how would that even work? But I feel as though if companies spend $0, they would be so much more easily persuaded to join this, because they wouldn't be losing any money. They wouldn't be spending any money. They wouldn't be looking at ways to make back that money, because they're not going to. All I propose they do is start to make more biodegradable bags and products, and reusable ones especially, and promote them, because I feel as though if they promoted those bags, they could easily make that, they can make more money, because like I said before, if they charge 5 cents per plastic bag, then people are going to be way more persuaded to spend the dollar on the reusable bags. And then also people will be saving money, because they're not going to pay that 5 cents per plastic bag, and corporations will be making more money. And I propose that money can go towards garbage patch reconstruction, or help it, not reconstruction, rebuilding and cleanup. So we can help the oceans at the same time. But if not, if companies don't feel comfortable doing that, I feel as though they should keep the money, and that money can go towards making more reusable bags, which will, in the long run, I believe, help save them money, and it's also going to save the environment, so we won't have to worry about spending more money from the government once it becomes a huge, huge problem to us. So, as I've said that, I feel as though if corporations do this, their marginal cost for creating these bags or cups or products is lower than the marginal benefit, then they should do it. I mean, if as long as they have a marginal cost marginal benefit ratio, then I feel as though they're still making at least the minimum amount that they were spending. And so I feel as though if corporations can still break even with just these reusable, recyclable products, that they should do it, because it can greatly help impact the environment. And also, if they switch, then we would raise awareness, and we could get volunteer crews to help pick up the ocean, and we wouldn't have to, if we didn't pay them, if just a couple of people heard about this and kept doing word of mouth and telling other people about this, we wouldn't have to pay them, we wouldn't have to advertise. As long as we used word of mouth, we could get people to start volunteering to clean up the ocean and do ocean reforms, and I feel as though that would be easy to do. So the benefits of recycling. The benefits are so broad. We could have you ever wondered how recycling and reusing actually helps the environment? Because there are many benefits to it, honestly. By recycling aluminum, you can get paid to recycle your cans, your old gross beer bottle tops and soda can tops. If you bring a whole gallon full, a milk jug gallon full of bottle tops, you can make $50 at UNMH here in Albuquerque, because they melt that down to make syringes for the needles. So first of all, there's some money in there. Okay, there's some benefits that you could potentially make more money than you were spending, because you're gonna buy that soda or beer or whatever anyways. You might as well donate those. Well, not even donate. You might as well get paid to drink those and give them the bottle tops. So also, it's energy efficient. As I showed in a couple slides before, when you reuse water or soil or garbage to make compost, you're being energy efficient. We're using the sun, and we're using recycled junk to help grow more trees and get that CO2 out of the air that we put in there, because we've been burning trash and letting CO2 into the air, and it's terrible. And also, speaking of that, it creates jobs. You ever thought, okay, it only takes one person to burn trash in an incinerator. Okay, if you get one person to do that, you're putting so much CO2 and so many toxins into there. It's terrible for the environment. It takes 6 jobs to work a landfill. All right, and when you get that trash in that landfill, that trash it's just sitting there. It's not going anywhere because it's not biodegradable. So you need to think about these things. That's only 6 jobs, but recycling, it creates 36 jobs, all right? We can help reform not only the environment, but we can also help the economy by doing this. We could create jobs because, let's be honest, we need more of those, and we can also help to stop littering and throwing away trash in the wrong places. We can honestly help change people for the better just by reforming few things to help them see there's a huge problem that we don't have to deal with right now, but potentially in a couple of years this could be a ginormous problem. It could be awful for the environment. We wouldn't know what to do, and we'd spend millions and trillions and billions of taxpayers' dollars trying to clean up this ocean that we could just help stop building up now. It's easy. So in conclusion, I feel as though reusing, reducing, and recycling is very, very easy. I don't understand why you wouldn't. As I said, there are not only very cheap or free alternatives, there are alternatives that will make you money. So I feel as though, it's just a little bit of your effort, a tiny, tiny bit of effort that could change the world. Honestly, it's cheap and it's simple, and these honestly could be the biggest solutions to this. So I hope you just realize that this trash is just the tip of the iceberg. So hopefully you will think about this. Thank you for listening to my presentation. Have a great day.